Hello and welcome back. Some rituals, nothing too interesting. Auspex found nothing. Blood Empowerment did not horror mark us. And we summoned a new Ditanu. He's been geared up and he'll be sent out this turn and caught 10 slaves. Then we had quite a few little battles. So first one was my flying Ditanu, heading into not much. He drops into the back lines, goes to work. Damn, that's a tough guy. So that's Great Dunes. Next, Battle in Wick. This was another one of my Ditanus, hitting nothing. So let's see how this one goes. Perfect, well done. That was Wick. Also got attacked in Vician Forest. This is the coast that we just took out of the lake. We can see a pretty hefty little line of troops here, taking it back. Bit scary. That was Vician Forest. Lots of stuff. Monarch Woods was the fortress. We got attacked while sieging it. So, kind of expected this. This is why I didn't storm the fort this turn. He tends to... Seems like both of his armies are scripted pretty much the same. You've got a block of mages at the back with some bodyguards and then a huge line of troops. A lot of my skeletons getting banished, unfortunately. Throwing some blade winds at me, but I don't think that's going to do much against my protection. Where did you come from? Okay. So that was Monarch. Killed quite a lot of stuff. 45 gold units. Everything else is pretty cheap, I think. We did kill 5 Master Smiths as well. And 2 priests. And it cost us most of our skeletons, unfortunately. And 1 sacred. That's not too bad. Finally, we had a battle in Troia. This was the final Ditanu. Heading into another bunch of province defense. Good stuff. We finally lost the priest that was preaching in Scalaria to a vengeful water attack. Lost some dominion in Keban. Found an earth gem in Bay of Plenty. Found some fire gems in Ivermark. The Bane Venom Charm is now following my army around. Caught a scout in Dendra with my blood hunting patrollers. Finished the fort in Queen Forest, and Monarch Woods can still be stormed. And we also got a new hero. So Small Pretender Guy 420 gained Heroic Toughness. That's a really nice one. It's a shame I got this on the one Ditanu who doesn't have a regen rings, because double regen would be quite nice if you've permanently got 80 hit points. Oh well. Still, that's very good. That puts 2 of our Ditanus in the Hall of Fame now, I think. Small Pretender Guy and Pretender and Smalling Surgery. I think we can get quite a few Ditanus in the Hall of Fame if I'm being honest. Looks like a lot of these guys are dead as well. Is that it for messages? Yes. Okay. There's a few little things going on back in the Homeland. I'm forging another Thistle Mace with the N2S1 I've got, because if he's N3S1 he can forge a Moonvine Bracelet, which would be nice. You know, 2 nature boosters. My other nature guy has the Thistle Mace we've already got, forge a Ring of Regen. Since we're very close to another Ditanu this turn, we should have one next turn. Oh well, we can cast it next turn anyway. So I'm forging another couple of pieces of gear for a Ditanu as well. Chainmail of Displacement. Forging a Horned Helmet as well to save on some fire gems. And a couple of other few bits and pieces. There's an anti-magic amulet already in the stash. But I'm just getting the gear ready for when we summon another one next turn. And I'm building a couple more temples as well. Hopefully I get this temple built in Mushwood. And another one down here in this marsh as well. And I'm also putting another dome up in Ashdod, Dome of Astral Warding. And I've also started summoning Magics in all of my throne forts. I'm going to start summoning as much crap as I can in my throne forts. I realised that we're actually quite close to the Cataclysm. It's expected in about a year. So really what we need to be doing is just grabbing up as many thrones as we can and sitting on them and hoping that we win by default. So this throne in Erd is going to be a big target. Need to take that as soon as possible. And that brings us to movements. So this Pretender is going to take back Lavendalon. Did I just say this Pretender? This Ditanu is going to take back Lavendalon. And I'm moving my Talmai guy towards Machaka still, and the priest is still moving around to build temples. Same down here. Main army movements, we've got the big army that's currently sieging Monarch Woods is going to move, and it's going to siege Haloma instead. And then the slightly smaller army in Faran is going to take over in Monarch Woods. And at the same time I'm also casting Crumble with Ayman here. He's going to cast Crumble on Haloma as well. So hopefully this gets bust open in one turn as well. And we should have 2 forts ready to be stormed then. And then I'll storm them both the turn after. The reason I'm still not storming this one is because Alm still has these big stacks walking around, and I don't want to get pinned in a fort or have Alm able to like move past me and start moving into my own territory. So I'm still just maintaining the big blobs of units on these forts just for another turn or two. And then I'll storm them both next turn. And we're quite near to Erd then actually. We can just go straight to Newland and then straight to Erd. And then I need to start using my Ditanus to make sure that we keep a path open around it in case things go awry. The other 2 Ditanus are just raiding these back provinces as well. Alright, gonna end turn though. Hopefully that goes okay. Thanks for watching. Did I mention as well that Xibalba's out this turn? Oh yeah, Xibalba has been permanently vanquished. Not sure why I didn't click that message, but yeah. Xibalba has been dom killed, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's been sieged. But you know, shoutouts to Xibalba. Anyway, that was turn 58, and I'll see you on turn 59. Hello, welcome back. Quite a lot of messages. Research first of all. We got evocation for 6. Can do mine hunts now. Plus a few other stuff that's here. Not sure how much of this I can actually cast though. Flame eruption, I guess. Oh, 7 range. Maybe not. Mine hunt definitely though. I'm gonna dip slightly into blood magic. I've already got some in Seirim. Could almost cast that as well. I've got 41 slaves at the moment. Might do this just to see what they're like. I'll keep going to Send Lesser Horror, and then I'll go back into Evocation for a bit more. Search for water sites, didn't find any, and air sites, didn't find any. Also cast Crumble on the fort in Haloma. Didn't quite crack it open. This is a citadel, it has 750 wall strength, which is quite high. I also realised that the castle down here is also a citadel, which is a bit unfortunate. Because I was thinking I could move my 2 Ditanos here onto the fort to siege it, and then just hit it with a cast of Crumble. But 750 strength is a bit much, so maybe not. Also set up some domes and did some general summoning like usual. Caught some slaves, and then had a bunch of battles. I don't think any of these were too interesting. Titanu hitting a bit of Promise Defense. Insta-Gibbs the commander. That's what I like to see. Black Forest. Trollland next. Bit more Province Defense. It looks like he's going crazy. 0 fatigue, nice. He hits so hard sometimes. Every now and again you see like 40 or 50 pop up. 36 isn't bad either. So that was Trollland. Quite a lot of stuff here. Didn't kill any of the mages, unfortunately. Paloma. This was me moving on to the new fort. Just some province events. Good stuff. So we've got both forts under siege now. And in Lavendalon we actually got attacked by... No we didn't, what am I thinking of? Lavendalon we were taking it back from Vineman. So that was straightforward. Events, lost some population in Trackless Woods, gained some misfortune in Green Waters, got some unrest in Troia. This was the battle I was thinking of. We also got attacked by Independents, and for the first time ever we actually repelled them with the strength of barbarians. Deadly Disease is still in Monarch Woods, which isn't too bad. This is where I've got all my elixirs and most of my witches. So none of my commanders are actually diseased here yet. Lost a lot of scouts. The new fort that we just started sieging is almost open, but not quite yet. Needs another turn. But Monarch Woods is still open. And that's it for messages. So you can see lots of like alm stacks now have appeared on the map. Someone actually mentioned to me as well that these units, Guardians, are actually quite scary for my Titanus, because they have these magic halberds that do 15 fatigue damage to sacred units. So in this fight he has 11 of them, So these guys could very easily surround one of my Ditanus and just put him to sleep pretty quickly, depending on how lucky he is or how unlucky I am. So these Ulm stacks that are walking around are actually a bit more frightening than they first appear, just because of that unit. I also got told to watch out for Black Priests with banishment spam as well, but I don't really think banishment is going to get through like 24 magic resistance or whatever that my Ditanus have got. Let's see, this guy's 23 and this one's also 23. So I don't know about that. But either way, it's something to be a bit mindful of. Yeah. Anyway, as for this turn, still building temples and stuff back wherever I can, and generally moving priests and things around. Forging the last piece of gear for my Ditanu, who is being summoned this turn. And I'm also forging a bunch of penetration gear as well. So I'm forging a Spell Focus and an Eye of the Void. I'm going to give those to an Astral Mage, sit the Astral Mage in Machaka, and have him casting Mine Hunts every turn, trying to kill some of these Ulmish commanders who don't have Astral Magic. A couple of other things being forged as well. We've got Wing Chews and stuff as usual. And I think I'm forging, yeah, a Moonvine Bracelet as well. So this is the second nature booster that I can now forge. This will be really useful. So that's good. Other than that, back home it's just continuing to blood hunt and recruit sacreds and pretty normal stuff back here. My Shadowbrand Ditanu is building a temple in Lavendalon since there's nothing else to defend at the moment. I have noticed these little stacks of Cartesian units appearing on the map. Not sure what he's going to do with those. These were the units that were in Silverham, I assume, because there's been a big stack in Silverham for a while. Cartesians like to attack people who are being killed by other players, so these might be walking over to try and take Ulm's throne. And if he does that, I will take the throne from him, so thrones are the big priority at the moment. We can see both of Ulm's thrones are really, really lightly defended. We just need to get through this massive blockade here, and then we can roll straight onto these. There's caps here as well, which you need to take care of probably too. So major movements are just storming the fort at Monarch Woods and holding here to siege Haloma. I noticed the Dome Lover unfortunately did get a disease in Haloma, which is a bit of a shame because he's not only is he important, he also has my Stellar Focus up. So kind of don't want him to die. With that in mind, I'm moving all of the witches from this province. There are only 2 of them. But they're moving on to Haloma to help cure diseases in this province. And the new witch that I just recruited, I've given her some Wing Chews so she can fly over here and also start curing disease in this province. So we'll cure 4 diseases per turn. Unfortunately, there are a lot of diseased units in this province as well, if I hit D. So it might be a while before we actually hit Dome Lover, but worst case scenario, we can take this fort and then just retreat him back home. He can sit in Queen Forest for a bit till he gets healed. In Trier, I'm still not doing anything with my Ditanus. Now that I know that they're actually quite vulnerable to these stacks, I'm going to have both of them defend here. I also had Hassis here pop out of stealth. He's going to help defend with some paralyze spam. And I also just recruited a D2, so he's coming along as well to do some Horde of Skeletons. So we'll have 4 mages, technically. Well, 2 mages, 2 Ditanus and a priest. With 15 province defense. And I think that should be enough to distract enough Guardians that my Ditanus can clean up. I just need enough kind of chaff and enough kind of stuff doing other things to distract the Guardians so that they don't all... Because if the Ditanu is the only thing here, they only have 1 target, so you're more likely to them to get ganged up and put to sleep and killed. So I'm just being mindful of that, and I also don't want Ulmish stacks to be able to get through this area into my land, so I want to hold these 3 provinces until we've taken the fort so we can move forwards. And hopefully he smashes these stacks into my Anarchite armies, because I think we beat them quite handily. He doesn't have a lot of mage support out. Down here the other two Detoners are just cleaning up these back provinces. Can I move to here, I wonder? No. It's tempting to try and cut off Katiz so that he doesn't take this stuff from me. I also wish I had scouts in this area so that I could see what these little armies are composed of exactly. Do I have an Astral Mage nearby? I do have these guys. Can't they scry? Isn't that a thing? Astral Window, is this what I'm thinking of? Observe distant lands, yeah. How many pearls do I have left? 0. Okay, let's alchemy a few earth gems. And maybe a few fire gems as well. 8 pearls, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, Astral Window. Okay, let's Astral Window Ironwood? Or shall I Astral Window the actual throne? Let's Astral Ironwood Forest. Just so that I can see this stack if it moves into it, see what it is. Just to make sure there's nothing I need to be aware of. Such as units that do 15 fatigue damage to Sacreds. I think that's it for this turn though. Nothing else too interesting to say. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I'm trying to upgrade all of the forts that I have on thrones. But that's about it. Oh, last person to take my turn. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on turn 60. Hello, welcome back. Got our blood magic done. So we can now send horrors. Well, lesser horrors. And we could also cast Dome of Corruption, I guess. That seems like a bit of a risk when I've only got one guy who can cast this, though. Some other stuff in here maybe we might use one day. But anyway, I'm going back into Evocation for a bit. Cast lots of our spells as usual. Search for sites and didn't find any, as usual. Caught 7 slaves. I won't need to blood hunt in a better province. I thought 5k pot would be enough, but these seem kind of low for... I mean, my pretender is blood 4 with a dowsing rod and is only finding 7 slaves. Doesn't seem great. There was a battle in Nightmarsh. So unfortunately, Katiz attacked into the same province that I was attacking into with my Ditanu. So you can see most of his troops are quite mundane. These big Sobek guys are sacred. Everything else is pretty dismal. Some slave lizards on either side. And then these city guard guys. A couple of mundane commanders, and then his god at the back. That was Nightmarsh. And then my Ditanu flew in. This was Ensmalling Surgery. The guy who had heroic strength. I mean has heroic strength. So we buff up, and the laser dog eats us, unfortunately. So if the laser dog bites you, you die. No takebacks. So that's a bit unfortunate. So that was Nightmarsh. What's quite funny about this battle is that Katiz has been probably like the least active player in this game. But by killing that Ditanu, I think I think this is the most severe loss that any other player has inflicted on me at any point in the game. Because this goes 25 death gems plus all the gear that was on him. So, well done, Katiz. We also attacked into Ultima Delica with another Ditanu. This was a bunch of province defense. Not usually too much problem. That one's more what we expect. And also battle at the fortress in Monarch Woods. So this was us storming the fort. There wasn't much here, as you can see. I have a couple of my guys in this battle casting Gift of Flight on some of my giants. It's cool to see them flying around. This guy's taking a long time to die. Rhetoric, the hero. Wow, 32 protection. Well, now he's dead. So that was the battle at the fortress in Monarch Woods. We found a burning blade and a crystal matrix. We lost one of our sacreds, unfortunately. Events: Shambhalak, Angry Pig, Ilmeria, Barbarians caught and interrogated, Queen Forest, lost a bunch of gems, and in Town, a Dominion change. The Diseaser is still in Monarch Woods, lost another scout in Newland. This is another big alm stack. We can now storm Haloma, killed 7 diseases, and patrolled in Spire Woods. Alright, first things first, Alm has decided to go AI, which I think is a shame. It's not like he's that weak. I mean, as soon as I realized he had those Guardian units, I started trying to be a lot more careful with my Ditanus. Yeah, this guy's like the anti-skill area. Scleria had like 1 province for like 20 turns, and he's still stuck around and tried to do what he can. Almost just fucking bailed instantly as soon as he started losing provinces. So that kind of sucks. And Katiz, as you can see down here, is now picking off provinces as well. Looks like he's surrounding this throne to grab it. We'll let him do that. I'm going to concentrate on this throne first. There is just so many units around here. These big stacks are a bit annoying. We'll have to see what we get on. How we get on. Anyway, other thing to mention is that I heard from Abyssia that Tianqi has invaded him. I assume that Tianqi is going to try and grab Abyssia's thrones pretty quickly. Cataclysm is still expected in about a year. Not sure exactly how soon it's going to be, but probably quite soon. So I guess his plan is to grab Abyssia's thrones, while mine is to grab Alm's thrones. Anyway, so as for this turn, there's a few bits and pieces going on. I'll just quickly go through the list. We're upgrading all of our throne forts to castles at the moment. And I'm going to start summoning junk in all of them. At the moment I'm just doing Mazics in all my castles, but I might see if there's a better spell I can do just to fill them with chaff. Forging more penetration boosters. Casting a lot of rituals, I'll talk about those in a moment. Forging a blood booster. Since I can now send horrors, I might as well make sure that I can actually get that guy to blood 3. And I'm also casting a lot of astral windows and the water version of that. scrying pool. I realised that there's a much easier scrying spell to cast in water, and my water gems are a lot less valuable at the moment than pearls. So I'm scrying these 3 provinces. This one's already scryed, but I'm going to scry these 2 as well so I can see what's going on over here. And I'm also scrying the province that this stack is in. And I'm dropping a couple of rituals this turn. First things first is that in the battle in Nightmarsh, we can see that he does only have a few commanders here, and his god only has 17 magic resistance due to being in enemy dominion at the moment. Which is good, because I'm going to try and kill this guy with a mind hunt. There's only 4 commanders in this province at the moment, so depending on how mind hunt works, that's 25% chance we hit it. So I've got an S2 guy down here in Machaka. I'll probably rename this guy before I end the turn. Casting Mind Hunt. I've given him a spell focus. Unfortunately, he can't have an Eye of the Void and a crystal coin. And he needs the crystal coin, I believe? Mind Hunt, yeah, Astral Fall. But we're going to cast that on Nightmarsh. And I've also got another S3 guy, Talmai Elder, who's teleporting to Parched Expanse. So we'll have 2 guys in range of this area next turn that can do Mind Hunts. And my Talmai guy can actually hold 2 penetration boosters as well, which should be quite nice. So I'm going to try and snipe Katiz's god. If I do, I think we can probably smash the rest of that stack with just a Ditana or 2, to be honest. There's nothing too scary in there. So that'd be quite funny if we pull it off. Other thing I'm doing is I'm dropping a bunch of Fires from Afar, I think it is, or is it Flames from Afar? Fires from Afar on Newland, while I roll into it with this smaller stack. There's only, I think it's what? There's 10, 24, 29 giants, and a couple of spellcasters. This is probably the puniest army I have, and the army in Newland is fairly big, but not many casters. So I don't know. Hopefully it goes okay, but I'm going to drop a couple of Fires from Afar onto the stack as well anyway. So I've got 2 fire casters here who can do that, so they're going to do that. 3 of my Ditanus are attacking into Vishma Forest. I hope this goes okay. There's only about 50 units there at the moment, which I think is fine. But he does have this giant 200 unit stack, which he could move here. It's hard to predict how the AI will behave, because they tend to behave quite randomly, I think. But I'm sending in 3 Ditanus plus a Horde of Skeleton Spammer and a Paralyzed Spammer. Hopefully that's fine. And the adjacent Wasteland province is being attacked by this other Ditanu on his own. So this stack could also move there potentially and fuck up this Ditanu, but hopefully that doesn't happen either. Yeah, just awkward because he's AI, and I don't really play against the AI, so I don't really know what they do. I think they just kind of move randomly. Not too sure. Other than that, doing the same sort of basic stuff as usual. Trying to get up temples in all my provinces. I'm going to start putting them up in this area. It'd be nice if my Dominion could follow me, since a couple of my commanders are getting diseased now. Brax picked up a disease, unfortunately. And so has Small Prayers Only, which is a bit unfortunate. But we'll see how that goes. What level is Cure Disease? In 4, unfortunately. And this probably can also target units, which would be unfortunate. Yep, I mean, I guess we just need to smash the stacks. And then if important mages get diseased, I guess I just send them back into Friendly Dominion. Stick an elixir on them and hope for the best. There are elixirs in this stack, of course, but 3 of them. But probably some units are diseased as well, yeah. I really don't like that the elixirs hit the units before the commanders. Oh well. Anyway, so this is a bit awkward. I hope it's okay. I hope the Titanos don't get hit by a large stack and die. And I hope this fight goes okay as well. It'd be really cool if we sniped Kitiz's god. So I'm going to submit a partial turn while I think of a cool name for that astral guy. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.